Hi guys. Another lonely Friday night. Look, there's no one at the Morrison's today. I mean, not many customers. I'm one of the last ones. Yeah, I just wanted to say something about meeting a lady for the first time in 17 years. So this is the first date I've had with a woman for 17 years since I met my wife. But it's not. You can't really. I couldn't really call it a date because, say, like 2 months ago, I was coming off the medication. I was on 5 milligrams, and I wanted to cut it down to 2.5. And then after a few days, all hell broke loose. I couldn't handle it. I was crying on the floor. I was nervous. I was worried. I was shouting. I was in a really bad state. So, so my depression came back, or discontinuation syndrome, whatever that is. It's a syndrome. It's a collection of, like, you don't just feel depressed, palpitations, you feel that you can't breathe, there's so many things that happen. So yeah, I started to feel it, and it all comes at once. I suppose that Paxil, that Seroxat, has a 16-hour half-life. It comes out so fast out of your body that your body goes into, alarm bells start ringing everywhere. And it just pulls you back in. You can't take it. You'd have to be in a bloody straitjacket in a padded room in order to stop. In order to take it, to ride out you probably end up having a bloody heart attack anyway. So I was feeling really bad, and so I went to my doctor and I said, look, I was bloody tearful at the doctor's as well. I felt really horrible. I went to the reception and I said, look, can I? And I just felt like a child, I said, the receptionist, I made sure there wasn't anyone around, and I said, I feel lonely. And she said, oh, at that moment I felt like a child, like I don't know, someone who is handicapped, disabled. I felt. I said I need to speak to someone, and then so I spoke to the doctor, and I was bloody bawling. I couldn't help it. One thing though, like the doctor, she touched my hand. She's a nice lady. She's probably late 20s or whatever. And just the fact that she touched my hand, it made me feel really strange, because I've got that touch deprivation. I haven't been touched by a woman for, as I said, 17 years, or a long time. No hug, no holding hands, and it felt really nice. Nothing horny on it. Just felt nice to be touched. People think, oh yeah, you had one of those, but no, I didn't. I don't know if I can get one anymore with all that bloody Seroxat and all that. But so I was talking to the doctor, and she said, oh, there's a few things you can do. So she told me, but I don't bloody remember. I said, can you please write them down for me? And one was like a peer thing, like a scheme where you get in contact. It's like a buddy scheme, but people have had depression, same as you, like long-term unemployment, or long-term depression, or taking medications long-term, or whatever. And that's how I met this woman. Oh, also, she set me up with some kind of therapy, and it was like a digital, basically online therapy. I spoke to some counselor, that's another bloody story. It wasn't good, put it that way. Now, it was good that I spoke to someone in that period where I was feeling really, really down. But after the initial few sessions, you know, it gets boring because I knew more than the guy who was supposed to be my counsellor. But at least I had someone to talk to, so yeah, it was good in that sense. But anyway, I'll talk about that another day. That was a disaster. So I'll tell you about this disaster. So the first time I met a woman in 17 years, so I went to meet her at a cafe. I sat down and I washed up, all, you know, as nice as I could. And I met her, and she, the first thing I noticed, it might not be anything, she got tea for herself, and she didn't even offer me any. And when I first said, well, would you like a tea or something? I'll get something for you. She said, oh, no. So she got a tea for herself and didn't offer anything to me. I thought, okay, already that's a bit, maybe because I'm Italian, and Italian people are very warm, you know, yeah, I'll get you a tea, yeah, it's all right, you don't have to pay for it, it's all right. So when you offer, and then the other person gets something for themselves and they don't offer, I don't know, it's a bit, where's the equality? So anyway, I spoke to this lady for about 10 minutes and I started to have a panic attack. I had an actual panic attack. I couldn't breathe, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm having a panic attack. I think I have to stop. So but then I actually went through it, and I felt a bit better. So we spoke about stuff. The one thing I didn't like is, you know, what we talk about, is it confidential? She said, yeah, it's confidential. It's confidential. As long as it doesn't hurt anyone or yourself, then I won't tell anyone. And then that's another like nail in the coffin. I thought, oh, okay, all right then. She's just a switched on friend, you know, not a real friend. But I mean, when you're depressed, that's what you kind of need. It doesn't matter, you just be speaking to a bloody wall. So I thought that I'd get someone that understands me, that has had depression, has been taking medication for years, has depression for years. She said basically she had depression, and I said, oh yeah, how many years? Oh, just for a few months. So I thought, but she said, I've been taking medication like you. I said, oh, how long for? About 5 or 6 months. Yeah, so I said, well, I've been taking medication about 30 years. So I've had depression for 30, 40 years. You know, it's just like a master speaking to a pupil. Like, in the pupil going to the master and saying, yes, I can help you, you know. I mean, what experience does she have I mean, she wasn't a therapist. She's just there because she's gone through the same things as you have. But obviously she hasn't. She's just basically someone to talk to. And of course I appreciated that, really appreciated that. And the fact that I was sitting next to a lady, she was in her 50s, you know, and she looked not bad for a, you know, not bad, nice blonde lady. Yeah, so afterwards, I was going to say, I never saw her again. I was supposed to contact her after a week, but now I thought, oh, maybe they'll contact me because I'm in trouble. Yeah, they didn't contact me anymore. A week passed, 5 weeks now, and it was just too overwhelming for me. And it's like they don't understand that. They don't understand that I had a panic attack, that I was overwhelmed, and I'm supposed to contact them for the next appointment. I was scared, I was overwhelmed, and they didn't contact me again. Shouldn't they understand? Like, I had a panic attack, I was scared. I haven't met a woman in 17 years, and the woman that I see isn't up to my level of nuttiness. You know, this, you know, the level of help that you get on the NHS is rubbish, absolute rubbish. Really, it's better than nothing, of course, you know. But anyway, that's my story. The lady I met after 17 years, the date was a disaster. Yeah, so even a bloody therapist doesn't want to see me. Or I didn't want to see her. It was just too much for me. So there's my story, guys. I'll speak to you guys another time. There's no light here. My battery's finished again. Speak to you guys another day. Bye.